During his visit to Ethiopia, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi held the 9th China-African Union Strategic Dialogue. AUC Chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf was in attendance. The meeting took place on Thursday at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa. Wang Yi said that the AU is the locomotive leading Africa's unity and cooperation, noting that it plays a unique role in China-Africa relations. He conveyed President Xi Jinping's congratulatory messages to the AU summit for 13 consecutive years, which fully demonstrates China's high regard for developing relations with the AU. For his part, Yusuf stated that China is a partner Africa can fully trust and rely on. He noted that the Africa-China friendship has become a model of global South cooperation while underscoring the fruits of FOCAC. He stressed that the AU adheres to the One China principle, firmly supports China in defending its core interests on the Taiwan question, and opposes any acts of splitting China. Meanwhile, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning says China-Africa ties have now entered a new era.
Both sides believe that under the strategic guidance of President Xi Jinping and African leaders, China-Africa relations have leapfrogged, entering a new stage of jointly building an all-weather China-Africa community with a shared future for the new era. Both sides agree to firmly support each other in safeguarding their core interests and major concerns, and strengthening communication, coordination, and mutual support on major initiatives proposed by each side. They will jointly uphold the international order based on international law and work together to defend the legitimate rights and interests of the Global South. The African Union reaffirms its firm adherence to the One China principle and its firm support for all efforts made by the Chinese government to realize national reunification. We are willing to work with the African Union to implement the outcomes of this dialogue, continue to tap the potential for practical cooperation, and benefit the peoples of China and Africa.
Now, to understand the significance of the strategic dialogue in the China-Africa relations, we spoke to Professor David Monyae, the director of the Center for Africa-China Studies at the University of Johannesburg and the co-director of the Confucius Institute in South Africa. Here is what he had to say.
China-Africa relation, I think it's strengthened year in, year out. It has been 70 years since the strength of this relationship. I think we see it in trade, in investment. We see the two working quite closely, having common position on key global issues at a time when multilateralism are on decline, and China-Africa seem to strengthening and reviving multilateralism. I think we have seen the growth of the relationship moving from ideological more into pragmatic and trade and investment. Trade is way above 250 billion US dollars. As we speak, almost 300 billion in a number of critical sectors of economy. We have seen the development of economic zones. We've seen mega infrastructure projects. The digital economy is way up, agriculture and people to people. And therefore, I think we see all-weather relation between the two. And I think going forward, it's a matter of cementing this relationship on what has been built already. I think we are seeing a post-1945 world order declining. The hegemony of the US and Western powers are way down, and major shifts in relation between the developed world and the developing, particularly Global South, of which Africa constitutes the largest bloc within Global South. And the relation between Africa and China somehow strengthen South-South cooperation in a bigger way. And we also are seeing China playing a critical role in closing the gap where more developed countries used to play a critical role, where the United States is pulling, whether in World Health Organization or UNESCO or in peacekeeping on climate change issues. I think we see China closing that gap, working closely with Africa, we're really seeing tangible results as a result of this bosom relationship between the two.